Yes, and straight right into banning. Nora might actually go for, once again, I'd say, Dokkaebi or no, Glass. Never mind. As Glass is
well, it's been almost 100% of their bans,
True.
so it makes sense, really. And as for Fnatic, we've seen a lot of Lion out of them. Wouldn't be surprised they want to get rid of that one.
No.
Ash, okay, yeah, all right, fine.
They do not want to have that play.
It's just the new thing, right? You ban Ash against Nora-Rengo because you're trying to ban Mario. They did it last round. All right.
You heard it right there, folks. Do not allow Nora-Rengo play Ash because that will be pretty much GG, easy, goodbye.
This Valkyrie ban from Fnatic, a little bit like shooting themselves in the foot from Nora-Rengo. I expect we'll see the Echo ban. Let's see if I'm right. Clash.
Clash.
Okay, well that's been their other most banned operator, but as for the Valkyrie ban, that's some of the intel taken away from Fnatic. And I mean, I've talked about this before. I think Fnatic are a team who work really well when they're fueling themselves with intel. They play Echo, they play Maestro, they play Valkyrie. They put all of these together and create almost like this image in their head of what the battlefield is looking like. And then moving from there, they decide how they can go for their flanks, how they can go for their two-man flanks, how they can process the round as a team. So taking that away by themselves, I hope they're prepared.
To me, it feels that they might have shot slightly themselves in the foot with the banning of Valkyrie because Magnet is very efficient on Valkyrie and using those Valcams is a stepping stone for some of their defenses. But maybe there's a much bigger choice behind that. But there we go. We see Aces get back on his legendary Blackbeard as he was able to perform quite some interesting feats as well. But getting the ace on Blackbeard for himself, ace by Aces, is definitely a fitting headline.
Yeah, but back to the bans. I mean, as much as I might hype on about Fnatic with the Valkyrie ban maybe not being so wise, look, I don't play in these guys' scrims. I don't watch these guys' scrims. They don't let me watch their scrims. They don't want to reveal their trade secrets to everybody. So I have no doubt that these guys have information that they are processing these bans based off of. But that said, of course, I'm yet to see what really warrants that. Now, for Nora-Rengo on their defense, they're bringing both Echo and Maestro, so they're still bringing as much intel as they possibly can.
Oh yeah, Echo and Maestro are still a potent combination for the defense, and especially Mario on Echo, I feel could be quite interesting to witness as his fragging potential plus the suppressed MP5 with the APAC could be a deadly combination. What's also odd to me is the fact that Rachel is now playing on Smoke instead of the previously picked Maestro.
Yeah, well, I know we've seen. I guess it's a bit of a moving around of roles. So you know, JJ can flex between Smoke and Mira. Rachel can kind of pick up the pace when we have a Mira. Then JJ goes from Smoke to Mira. Rachel goes from Maestro to Smoke, and then Walker picks up the. So I mean, it's all a bit of a switch around, which is great. We need teams with and players, of course, with this versatility. But yes, as you mentioned, I am interested to see Aces performing on the Blackbeard, as it's been previously Rizraz fulfilling that role in this tournament. And Aces, a notorious Blackbeard player. I hope that he can step it up for his team when they need it most.
I would have to agree with you on that one. And interestingly enough, Lusty just uses one of his asphyxiating bolts right behind the bomb to ensure that there's nobody peeking. And look at this peek point as well by Rizraz. That is something filthy, just right out of just filthy science fiction, I'd say, as well. If he could have gotten that long angle, that would have been something spicy as well. But while that is not yet happening, Aces might get some juicy angles as well.
Just droning out now for Fnatic. They're spotting out the players holding upstairs. Of course, this is a kitchen defense for Nora-Rengo, but on Coastline in particular, we see a lot of movement around multiple areas and roams that holds areas upstairs before defending downstairs. And in fact, that's how Mario's going to net himself one kill. He's taken a lot of damage for it, but taking Magnet off the board, the player who had over 2.0 KD in the match earlier in the semi-final against Xavier, that's nothing to be scoffed at.
Indeed, and we also, meanwhile, do witness a roaming Maestro in the face of Walker, which could be quite deadly, I feel, even with the fact that he's only 1 speed and 3 armor. But the line charge will be coming out with just under a minute left, and the push might commence very soon. Oh, Neofighter doesn't expect that. He will get shut down very nicely and swiftly.
Lusty does find 1 kill in reply, but he's immediately refragged by JJ on the mirror. 2 players for Nora-Rengo having taken quite a significant amount of damage, but there's only 2 left for Fnatic. That said, we saw in the very first round of this matchup, the only one for Fnatic to win, a 2 versus 5 clutch, but Rizraz not landing the shots that he needs to make that happen. C4 doesn't do the damage. Finally, Rizraz takes down JJ. 2 players left for Fnatic, only 3 for Nora-Rengo, but Rizraz and Aces both turning this into a 1 versus 2 for poor Papilio upstairs. 15 seconds, Aces needs to get this bomb down, but Rizraz taking a lot of damage for himself. Ace is going to be a very vulnerable player. This mirror could potentially assist in Rizraz's hold, covering Aces, but Papilio is the man who needs to make this move. Plant goes down, he destroys the shield, takes down Aces. It's a 1 versus 1. 1 bullet will kill Rizraz. Papilio, the man of the hour, he takes down both of the players from Fnatic. An attempted retake, an attempted clutch from Fnatic, but you can just hear the Japanese crowd. And look at Nora-Rengo.
What a well-played push by Papilio at the end. That was pretty nutty, and that 416 done an amazing job at dealing with the Fnatic players. That would not be a good moment right now for Fnatic. But they need to reset themselves. They need to keep on rolling. The show must go on for them if they want to get that sweet seed #1 and get that beautiful looking cup.
So the first thing I thought when I saw Magnet fall as the first opening death for Fnatic, I mean, he's the player who's meant to be bringing this mentality. He's meant to be doing most of the communicating, and if he's the first one to be shut down, you don't want to be in a position where your man who's meant to be holding the team together, the glue, is the one who's being the first on the tilt. Magnet, he's brought himself back because he's still communicating. He hasn't shut himself off from the world, which is good, but Fnatic have a long way to climb.
Indeed, and interestingly enough, once again, Lusty bringing in the Finka, who saw a very kind of 50-50 success.
I don't understand the point of the Finka. Like, it's so difficult with most operators. You can see, oh, that Hibana charge opened up that wall, and we can say that's why they won the round. Or that Blackbeard shield won him that gunfight, that's why they won the round. But Finka, it's so difficult to actually show that direct interaction between the effect of the ability and your victory.
You can actually very easily show if that health buff saved them and you could still see the recoil still being a laser beam of death, then there's your play. But I would have to disagree with you that Finka is full-on useless. She is very...
I don't think she's
extremely niche.
Yeah. I don't think she's useless. I just think it's... Look, I really want to have a chat to Fnatic and ask them, like, why? I want them to explain to me in detail.
What I do want to ask is why is Lusty bringing the Spear through away, as it's considered one of the lowest DPS weapons within the game, but maybe there's a much bigger picture that I am not witnessing just yet, but I might have to ping Lusty about that just after the matchup.
I feel like a lot of people are going to be pinging Fnatic after this matchup. Whatever happens, maybe not all of them going to be asking about their operator picks, but as for Nora-Rengo defending this secondary bomb site for themselves, Ace is just trying to glean some intel, and I love seeing the fact that continuing the meta, Nora-Rengo are taking us to bar as a secondary defense. Ace is toying with these very close angles. There's a deployable shield covering the position of, I do believe that's JJ or Walker inside of Hookah.
Yes,
perhaps a grenade or something would deal with that.
And meanwhile, Lusty will be applying pressure to the Sunrise as well. Rizraz might actually catch the Jaeger off guard, who will be attempting to peek. Oh, misses him just by a millimeter. And the first line charge will be popping up. And the Finka charge as well, Adrenal Surge, will be in effect. That could actually help with the push, especially run through the barbed wire. Muryu is down on the floor. I mean, on the stairs, Rachel picks up the pace and gets Rizraz to being able to revive Muryu. Walker picks up a kill into Ace's Neofighter, and Lusty trade out Papillion. Walker straight away, 3v3 situation. Still plenty of time to work with for Fnatic.
3 versus 3, and yes, as you said, a lot of time on the board, 1.5 minutes. And some meaningful ground taken, but Nora-Rengo still have some utility to work with. Walker being down means that those Echo drones won't be able to deny the plant. But Lusty's doing some damage. Magnet progressing down these stairs. He's really worried. This is not an easy encounter to take with a low rate of fire, moderate rate of fire weapon with an ACOG. He's very worried, and as we can see the rest of the team setting up, Raisha wins that fight. JJ is sprayed through the wall. Lusty goes down. It's all up to Neofighter, but no, JJ takes him down as well. Nora-Rengo have 7 straight rounds, 8 straight rounds for themselves in the grand final of the APAC Pro League.
Yeah, that explosive action from Nora coming out. It doesn't seem that the Nora train is planning to take any stops throughout this trip so far. And Fnatic are just looking over at each other like, what's happening? What's good?
Fnatic being left in the dust at the moment. They've won one round. And it's funny, really, because the one round where Fnatic won, it was one where we thought right at the start, oh wow, 3K for Nora-Rengo. This is looking to be a GG easy for them for this game, for this round, I should say. But no, Fnatic came back and won a 2 versus 5. I thought that was going to be a momentum shift, and Fnatic were going to progress on from there. But since then, Nora-Rengo have won 8 straight rounds. That is just... it's insane. In a grand final where these teams have proved themselves time and time again.
Very true. And once again, Lusty bringing in the Finger instead of Ying. I'm personally, I would go with the Ying for the pushes. I do not see the way, they have been utilizing it so far was not very successful. What are your thoughts about it? I'm
actually interested in knowing why are they going to stick pick onto it. They've been bringing it so consistently. Like if you're bringing a Glaz or a Lion or something that actually has some kind of counterplay. Okay, I'm not going to say that. That's going to create arguments. If you want something that's going to take advantage of the element of surprise, I feel like Finka doesn't really take advantage of the element of surprise of the 6th pick.
Yeah, you could technically argue with that.
Let's say they showed Nora-Rengo that they were bringing a Finka. What are Nora-Rengo going to do? Oh, they have a Finka. All right, let's counter it with this. Like,
well, they could just bring over Elysian. That is it. That would shut it down. I mean, but they do also have the Echo, who straight away just resets that effect. So, yes, they do actually have the counter for that.
I guess so, yeah.
It's a very lesser
I
counter.
feel like, yeah, it's not like you're talking about Valkyrie cameras, IQ scanner. It's not direct like that, which is just a bit strange to me.
It's a very indirect kind of, yeah, while we're flowing with it, we got the Echo, we might as well just shut down that Finka push as well. But I'm rather curious, can Fnatic bite back? Because so far, 8 rounds in a row, like you mentioned before, and no effect whatsoever. They are able to get close by to the objective. No plan. Shut down straight away.
Now we are onto the 3rd bomb site now. I think Fnatic do have a stronger chance. If there's any bomb site they should take an attack win, in my opinion, it should be Penthouse. Penthouse, it's been the favored bomb site for a long time, but it's also given teams a long time to figure out ways to attack it. And a Blackbeard on the double window is something that I personally wouldn't want to be peeking any day of the week. Fnatic do have to be covering their bases, though, as we know Walker does like to play around the lobby and go for these runouts. Aces needs to be covered.
Aces indeed, and Rachel actually being the only man on the site, he could be in a whole lot of trouble. No, but no, Walker actually returns back to the side. So 3-man hold upstairs with 2 people downstairs. This could work fairly well, but
I mean, even if Fnatic managed to get themselves inside of Penthouse, Nora-Rengo have this vertical play from Rachel to deny plant from below with C4 and other utility. Aces needs to drone that out now, and this is very, very late for just gleaning some basic intel, so that drone's just to watch the run out, and Aces hoping to get a pick on someone running out. Nora-Rengo not playing aggressive except for Waka, who does peek out. How does he get that kill? Aces, you're playing Blackbeard. You have a shield in front of your face. You have teammates to help call out for you. You need to find those.
You could say Aces did have a hunch for that, but just couldn't confirm it completely, and he didn't have any of the teammates to cover him. There's the Lion Charge, there's the Finka boost. The push will commence just about now, but I feel that, oh my lord, look at all these tags as well. The P226 will be helping him a lot. P225, I believe? No, never mind. Yep. JJ, Mariu, pick up a kill each. JJ continues his rampage as now all up to Magnet to try to clutch this up, and this potentially will be the 9th round in a row. I am very much confused how a Fnatic allowing this to happen.
What can you say as a redeeming quality for Fnatic at this juncture? Magnet forced into a 1 versus 5, trying to bait out shots. Rachel just going to tap him in the
Never mind. Rachel will just tap away. But to me, it feels odd because Fnatic has been performing so well. They are the preferred team. Like even between us, we're talking to Ampli and Monkey Fist. All of them were saying it's all on Fnatic. And even I was more like convinced that Fnatic would win. I was telling to you before the cast, Fnatic statistically have the upper hand in this one.
Look, from the start, from the very first game we casted at this entire event, Nora-Rengo versus New Life, I said Nora-Rengo are looking like an incredibly strong team. And since then, I've thought they look like the best team in APAC. Looks like the best that an APAC team has ever played, in my opinion. But that said, coming to this grand final, I know that Nora-Rengo have a track record of falling under this pressure, doubling over under this pressure. And Fnatic, in contrast, they do. When it comes to these events, they often take first seed. They often triumph. It's what happened last season, so I'd expect it to happen again. But no, Nora-Rengo are just showing, look, get your game face on, because we're going to bring this one right to you.
Indeed, and playing in front of the home crowd is definitely another advantage, I'd say, for Nora.
Absolutely.
Because
it looks like it.
Before you had Fnatic, they were winning in front of the crowd, the home crowd, and everyone was supporting them. They had all the support possible. This time, though, the crowd is complete opposite. They're supporting their opponents, and they don't seem to like it.
Fnatic really do like riding the wave of enthusiasm that the crowd can give them. That sixth member of the team that Elfish did mention, but it's just, it looks like it's almost like Nora-Rengo have 6 players, Fnatic have 5, because Fnatic's certainly not getting any of the support that Nora-Rengo would be getting from the home crowd. Of course, there's a lot of respect between these two teams. Magnet mentioned that in the pre-game. He said, look, Nora-Rengo are a team that they respect a lot. They catch up with them. They're friends, despite obvious language barriers that are in place. The teams, try and learn each other's languages to communicate as much as they can. But end of the day, the Japanese are going to barrack for a Japanese team.
True. True indeed. And right now, Magnet picks up the kill. The first kill onto JJ, outing in the mirror this time. And will be able to take out the barbed wire. Ooh,
oh, no.
Aces nearly gets his head shattered, but Neofighter and Lusty will be the first people to pick up the pace. 2v5 just like that, potentially about to break the whole streak. Rizraz picks up a kill on Racial, and 1v5 situation. Muryu needs to clutch this out. There's still 2 minutes to go.
Oh.
Within a minute, this all crumbs down, and Muryu gets the kill on Aces, finishes him off, but the whole Fnatic roster are on side, and they do have this place on lockdown, so Muryu will have a challenge and a half for himself to try to retake this all by himself and scoring an ace.
It looks like Nora-Rengo won't be able to score 10 subsequent rounds, as Fnatic have everything possible to prevent his progress in this retake. Now setting up positions, Lion, Dokkaebi, an absolute buffet of global abilities will force Muryu into an incredibly uncomfortable position. No time to reset his phone. He's looking at his own teammates' mirrors, and Neofighter going to clean him up all the way from inside of Sunrise Bar. Great play from Fnatic. The first round, I believe, where they managed to get the first kill. The opening kill from Magnet. He's had a lot of opening kills, but also been the opening frag quite a few times over. So it's great to see Fnatic stepping back into their shoes that we know them so well for.
Funnily enough, most of the kills that Fnatic scored onto Nora were within the first minute of the round as well. So that was a very quick and very packed action that we just saw from Fnatic. And they just saying that, no, we are not going to let you even flawless out. So there's still some fight in them. I'm very hoping that for their own sake, they would be able to make a comeback. Because otherwise, this will be a very dominant performance from Nora.
Even if they can't redeem themselves enough to get the championship, I certainly think they need to gain back some of their dignity. Going down 6-1 on their map pick is not the Fnatic we know and love. Nora-Rengo are the team that we know and love at the moment. They're the team that's stepping up into these shoes and doing APAC proud right now. I mean, of course, this is an APAC-only tournament at the moment, but these two teams are going to be heading forward after this to the Global Pro League Finals in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, where they will face the best of the best worldwide. And after that, in early next year, the Invitational, these teams will also get a chance to do that. But starting right here, someone has to be the king of APAC. Every time we come to an APAC LAN event, we say, oh, look, these are the favorite team. These are the kings of APAC. Maybe these are the former kings of APAC. These are the new guys up and coming. And right now, these guys are writing that history for us.
I couldn't agree with you any more. But right now, the main question for me is that can Fnatic reset themselves? Because right now, before that, you could see a slight amount of tilt. Aces bringing out a blitz. surprisingly enough, they don't have the Finka for this one on Lusty, but Lusty this time is bringing out the Dokkaebi, so they will be insisting on that roam clear initially. They want to get rid of any of the free roam players that Nora-Rengo keep on depending on very heavily. And the moment that will be done, that will be it. Walker loses his Echo drone just like that to Rizraz. A very nice start right now for Fnatic, because that is minus the info gathering.
That said, Magnet is once again the first opening death as Mario takes him down. Fnatic, I like the way that they are making these adaptations though, bringing things like the Blitz, the Dokkaebi, the Lion. They're bringing out everything they possibly can to make this work out for them, because they know that they're on the run at the moment. Having lost the first kill, they need to reassess the situation and figure out how they're going to take this. It looks like a rotation onto the south side, perhaps going to go in from the office.
It certainly looks like that way, that the push could be from office, but to me it feels that it's not enough. They need to be, it needs to be a 2-point push. While Aces and Rizraz or Aces or Lusty make a push from the office, there needs to be some pressure from the Sunrise or some pressure from above, which I do believe Neofighter might actually provide for Fnatic, because without that, Nora-Rengo will be able to funnel Fnatic through the choke point, and that is just about it. That will be the 4-1 in favor of Nora. But so far, a minute, well, almost 2 minutes has been wasted from Fnatic, and soon enough they will need to start making their push, and I'm pretty sure Nora are ready for that.
A Lion charge and smoke grenades are going to enable Fnatic an avenue into the bomb site. A C4, I believe, goes through. Aces entering in. He gets meleeed, but he gets the shield away just in time. Mario backs up his teammate and takes down the Blitz. Plant goes down and Lusty cleans up Papilia as well. 3 versus 4 for Fnatic. They have a numbers disadvantage, and Walker's going to add to that with a headshot on the MP5 SD. Lusty and Neofighter, the last to remain, the 2 global ability operators, and it's all up to Lusty, the clutch master. Can he protect the diffuser for another 30 seconds? He takes another down, but he's getting pushed from his left side. Walker takes him down, and the Japanese get themselves a 4th round on the map. Rachel is absolutely dancing right now. Look at Kazoku, getting the Mexican wave going.
That was an impressive performance, actually, I do have to say, Ben. But I feel that if Aces was able to score at least the kill onto that mirror and then advance onto the Jaeger, then that would have been a win for Fnatic, but very unfortunate loss. They need to start rethinking, because Nora are only 2 rounds away from claiming this 2-0 victory, and if that does happen, that would be a very impressive performance as well for Nora, because all of their matches have been going 2-0 so far.
Yes, I think they'd be the one to carry the trend, actually. On day 1, Nora were the only team to manage a 2-0. Every other match went to a 2-1 in the quarterfinals, and then both of our semis were a 2-0. Nora over Aerowolf and Fnatic over Xavier. But here, Nora, if they manage a 2-0 once again for the 3rd time, they will undoubtedly have the best record of this entire tournament and be very much worthy of the title.
That would be a very impressive record indeed. And JJ with an amazing 6th pick from IQ to IQ.
Oh, that's just 200 IQ.
The plays are just unimaginable. But with that in mind, first defense round for Fnatic.
What's got to happen for Fnatic at the moment? They couldn't bite anything on their attacks. They managed to get 1 round away, which was a very convincing one at that. A bit of a trend for Fnatic I've noticed. For example, earlier in the season I was casting one of their league matches against Taboo, and Fnatic did win that eventually, but at the start it was the very first round was a flawless round for Taboo. 2nd round of the match was a flawless round for Fnatic. It's almost all or nothing with them. It's like, do we switch on the, okay, we're doing everything right button, or are we asleep at the wheel? Fnatic need to make things happen, and they've got 1 very good round on the board, but in order to get that, they've struck 4 against.
Fair enough. But now, can we say that Coastline is a defender-sided map, or is it a Nora-Rengo-sided map? Because right now it feels to me that
this is all Nora.
This is all Nora? Okay.
All Nora.
All Nora, just all to it. But I do have to give the credit to Fnatic. Like, we've been giving them so much smack from time to time, but they have been the most, probably a more consistent roster within the whole APAC, all things considered, even though that they might just lose this matchup against Nora-Rengo. But in general, they have been working very consistently. They've been grinding this ever since Xbox, and managing to reach this far, I have to give them definitely a certain amount of credit.
I mean, Fnatic are very popular for a reason. It's because they've had a triumphant story all the way from the Xbox days.
Yeah.
And then getting the biggest org in the entire of APAC to sponsor them, which is nothing to be scoffed at as well. But here, Fnatic looking like they might disappoint their hardcore fans, because in contrast, there are a couple other fans that need to be serviced. And it's the entire of the Japanese population supporting Nora-Rengo.
Indeed. Now, Rizraz and Magnet will be on a very aggressive roam, whereas it feels Mario already took a little bit of damage from a firefight, who will be potentially dropping in and pushing towards maybe the hookah lounge. I'm not too sure just yet. Magnet continuing to hold a very intricate angle onto the hallway. That is a nice grenade as well, but
yeah, like he knows exactly how far to look up for that throwing arc. Really nice arm there, Magnet, as we know from the profile shots we've seen. Papilia finds the first kill, another big man for himself, but Rizraz and Magnet together looking to execute this flank. Rizraz finds one onto Mario. A refrag attempting to come out from Nora-Rengo, and they do find it onto Magnet. Papilia as well onto Aces. Rizraz in a 1 versus 5 clutch, but he can't do it. Papilia takes him down. We're on to another match point at a 5-1 scoreline.
What is happening? This is not the Fnatic. This is hashtag not my Fnatic.
What even was the bomb site on that map? I'm trying to write down what bomb site they just played. I can't even remember because
that was hookah.
It was hookah. Okay, because honestly, that was just a complete whitewash for Nora-Rengo. There was nothing to be said for Fnatic. It wasn't even coming down to the bomb site. It was just coming down to play after play.
Indeed. Now, potentially a last round, Nora-Rengo will be sticking to the very same loadout, same roster of the operators, whereas Fnatic just going for the last moment kind of attempt.
No.
The dual Baguette brothers will be busted out. The Rook and the Doc could actually come in very handy. Doc already locked in, so maybe Rook could get a 6 pick. What do you reckon?
I think that Fnatic definitely do need a medic at the moment, so it makes sense that they would be bringing out all the stops, getting these two French brothers in there. 3 ACOGs on the side, and the only 6th pick being onto another fragging operator. Lusty getting that alibi to hopefully give him and his team an edge in these gunfights. Fnatic are pulling out all the stops to try and take these gunfights because they know that Nora-Rengo have been outplaying them in that capacity, but I don't think this is going to be enough, and for the first time I believe I've seen, Waka, is going to be bringing out the Blackbeard. So you take potentially and probably likely the best fragger in the entire of the APAC region, and you give him a shield in front of his face. What's going to happen?
Full wipe, ace, maybe?
Nora-Rengo are going to go 6-1, 6-1. That's what's going to happen.
Oof, you're already making that prediction.
I'm feeling it right now.
Are you going to do Fnatic just like that?
Look, Fnatic have been playing really well in this tournament, but right now I think it's Nora-Rengo's time to shine. Fnatic bring out all the stops in this last ditch attempt. The best they can hope for is to find kill after kill, throwing strategy all out of the window and just desperately doing what they can to play for frags.
JJ, meanwhile, will be making his way with Mario over to the service entrance, making their way downtown over to the main staircase, and potentially could be wrecking some havoc very soon. Mario could do some damage from below with that skeleton key, and this does feel that this could very much happen. The hatch has been broken though, so he will need to play very carefully around that, because apart from that, Fnatic needs to just play carefully. The aggression that they've tried to apply didn't work at all for them. Walker already holding an angle, one of the better fraggers. He will be engaging into a 5-5 with an ACOG, but never mind. Magnet will be able to shut him down from the bathroom just like that. Bye-bye, Walker. Fnatic still in game 4v5.
This bodes well for Fnatic. Magnet, it's like I'm saying it once again. Mario, are you all right there, mate? I'm not quite sure what's happening there, but Nora-Rengo just... I don't think that was a very good throw, Mario.
Indeed, that was not a great throw, but Neofighter will get himself picked up. Can he do it? Yeah, Papilia does manage to finally connect onto the toes of Neofighter. Toe Hunter 12,000 is unleashed. JJ, meanwhile, picks up a kill onto Magnet, who tries to rush him, but unfortunately to no effect. Racial, meanwhile, will be breaching open into the VIP just to ensure that all of the angles are popped open, where a very hungry Rizraz, he's hungry for them kills, he's hungry for the revenge.
Rizraz has been a very well-renowned fragger in the ANZ region for the longest time, hailing from Corvide, where he was picked up by Fnatic, and he's relying on that aim at the moment to find him a kill. Racial now very much aware of Lusty's position, tags him up a few times, but Lusty takes down JJ in need to reload at the moment. Holding this angle, Lusty finds another one. Fnatic are in this game. It's up to Papilia to 1 versus 3 clutch this to keep Nora-Rengo's dream of a 6-1 alive. Fnatic are on the comeback train.
In before Papilia actually clutches this up, because that will be a story of the whole day. Right now, he has a decent amount of health. He has the F2 in his hands, and he's got the APAC. He tries to get into a firefight with Alibi, tags Lusty quite substantially, but he goes for the pre-fire, does take up aces as well. So for now, just trading bullets. He gets himself tagged up quite substantially. Rizraz will be taking him out, even though that they just lost the round. Nora-Rengo still continue to pump their fists. They are still pumped. They're still hyped. For now, right now, for Fnatic, they do need to find that closure. They need to get back into the game, get their mind together to score that win on this map. Right there, right now.
It looks like me doubting Fnatic is exactly what they need to keep taking this round. And I just realized being Orange team just really works for Fnatic, doesn't it? I mean, them being the Orange team, of course. It works great, and look, that was a good round for Fnatic. Maybe I discredited them a little bit too much the earlier round when I was saying that they weren't playing strategically, because they were. Like, I'm going to touch on that briefly. The way that they use the Alibi and the reinforcements alongside their ACOG player Rizraz inside of VIP, even assisted by a deployable shield, creating these angles which, of course, the defenders will be peeking very aggressively, and the attackers will be punished for peeking aggressively by the pings that come out from those Alibi charges. But Nora-Rengo are known to buck a little bit under the pressure of a match point. So they have a couple buffer rounds to play with.
What? Magnet bringing out a Caveira.
A leaf out of Producer Boom's book, perhaps.
Definitely looks like it. And meanwhile, Nora bringing in a Jackal just specifically for that. They will be knowing how to counter that sneaky Caveira.
I mean, Jackal's not a counter to Caveira. Caveira is a counter to Jackal because, of course, while those footprint scans are going down, the silence step ability will negate the pings that does result. And, of course, you can hide your footsteps just by silence stepping around the place. So a nice little read there. I'm not sure whether I didn't manage to catch whether the Mario did stick pick onto the Jackal, but a nice little read there from Fnatic. It's still a bit far-fetched on whether it'll work, but I like the way Fnatic are trying new things, because that's the most important thing. When you're down in the dumps, you have to keep making changes.
Yeah, I'm definitely sure that we will be seeing an attempt from Magnet to make Producer Boom happy and proud of the protege.
2 interrogations. That's the par.
Yeah, so he needs to go for 3 interrogations.
Yeah, exactly. That's par. You have to go for
back to back. Like, he needs to have 3 Nora-Rengo players lined up right next to each other, just interrogated one after another, one after another. And
speaking of the desperation of Fnatic, Rizraz pulling out all the stops, trying to go for spawn peaks. I saw something very similar from Canadian in the, I believe it was the grand final against G2. Walker finds a kill from a long way out. Now we're defending the hookah and billiards. 1 kill going down. Walker finds a 2nd kill onto Rizraz. Rizraz peeking all of the angles. That may well have been just a random spray through the wall. Very unfortunate. That's what's got to get you down when you're Fnatic right now. Walker just relying on these taps to find headshots.
He might as well just be able to tap away the lives of Fnatic and score himself that beautiful trophy. But right now, Mario will be just waiting, using his Inox to track any of the roamers who potentially might be sneaking around. But for now, it's only Magnet who is on the ground floor. Only 2 members of Fnatic sitting around the objective area, and they do need to start doing some work very soon. Still, minute and 40 seconds left for Nora, and plenty of time. Not a whole lot of resources for Fnatic to work with.
Walker, what is he doing? Whooshing into the site. Nobody backs on out immediately after. A nice take from Nora-Rengo, but Magnet's found himself 1 kill. However, he gets immediately traded by Papilia. Only 2 players for Fnatic, yet this is looking to be the match point as Mario cuts off some crossfires and pushes in, takes down the Jackal tracked player, whiffs a couple of shots, but finally gets him all up to Rizraz. He finds 1 kill. Next up is the Jackal. Can he find it? No, runs out of ammo. It's GEO versus GEO, and Mario wins, takes the championship. Your APAC finalists, Nora-Rengo from Japan.
What a play out. What an amazing game from Nora. indeed the true champions of the APAC Season 8.
What a fantastic performance from Nora-Rengo across the weekend. Not a single speed bump in there for them at all either. And look at how pleased they are. Maybe even more excited about that than they were about winning their semi-final and getting into that grand final. But that's a team that is now undefeated at this event. Lock it in. They are the best in the region, at least in Season 8.
And I think that we really have to emphasize that. We've called Fnatic the best in the region for quite a long time now. I feel ever since we had the Invitational qualifiers, Fnatic had that title of best in the region. No longer Nora-Rengo have taken over them, and look at the emotions here as the two teams do make up.
Yeah, and having a look across that roster as well for Nora-Rengo, it didn't seem like there was anyone that was letting the team down. It was a fantastic performance as a unit. You've got to give a shout out though to Walker. We saw so many amazing performances in that grand final and across the weekend, specifically from him as well.
Indeed, and just even the last round performance, managing to out straight away the two players of Fnatic and get that man advantage early on. It feels honestly to me that Fnatic just were not prepared for this amount of just fierce force.
It looks like obviously Nora-Rengo are going to be lifting the trophy in just a second, so gonna let them enjoy this moment. And of course they're very, very deserving of this victory. Here come the hosts in from Tokyo, so maybe we'll cross over to the stage and just let this play out and listen in to the Japanese hosts.
Rainbow Six Pro League Season 8 APAC Finals Tokyo 優勝 Nora-Rengo! 改めておめでとうウォッカ、JJ、パピリア、メリウス、レイチェル、この5人が常識を覆し歴史を新たに作り出しました。さあ今の気持ちを率直にどうぞ。
そうですね、やっと4度目3度目4度目 APAC だけで 3,4 回目でやっとここまで来れました。本当に皆さん応援ありがとうございます。
おめでと
うございます。
もう本当に東京初、そして日本初の大会ということで大きな期待があったと思います。とともに大きなプレッシャーがあったかと思います。そのプレッシャーを跳ねのけて見事優勝、そして世界へとこれから羽ばたくんですが、世界へ挑戦するために何か秘策、そして思いの丈あればここでおっしゃってください。
そうですね、やっぱいつも自分たちこうやってなんかいい結果が出せるときはだいたい貴族さんにご飯をおごっていただいてるんでちょっと高級なお店に連れてってもらおうかなと思います。
ぜひ連れてってもらってください。それではまずは世界に一つこの優勝トロフィーを高々と掲げてください。どうぞ。おめでとうAPAC Finals Tokyo チャンピオン Nora-Rengo!
おめでとうございます。
改めて満面の笑みでこのステージの中、日本チームが優勝を果たしました。2日間にわたり熱き戦いを繰り広げてまいりましたレインボーシックスプロリーグシーズン8 APAC ファイナルズ東京、ノラ連合の優勝で幕を閉じ、このノラ連合とそして準優勝のフナティックは世界大会への
There you have it, your champions for Season 8 in the APAC region, of course, are Nora-Rengo. What a phenomenal performance across them, and what a storyline as well. The first finals that we have in Tokyo, Japan, and the first winners there, of course, are a Japanese team. That is something pretty special.
Oh yeah, that is really, really special. And considering the fact that they just had the flawless run throughout the whole weekend and winning in front of their home crowd, that is something that they would be very proud of. And to be honest, I'm very even more confident now about their performance in the Brazil Global Finals.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a dominant performance from Nora-Rengo. We were talking about Xavier as perhaps being the Cinderella story or that fairy tale finish. I actually think now, in hindsight, this really does seem like the best kind of a Cinderella story or fairy tale finish that we could have gotten.
Absolutely. I feel like it was fated to be, honestly. The biggest APAC finals we've ever had, and the first one in Japan, the biggest APAC region, I guess you could say, in terms of population. And it's a Japanese team to take the W. It's fantastic to see, and I'm incredibly excited for the entire of Nora-Rengo, who managed to take this win without even having to reveal that much of their map pool and even that much of their strategies. They only played, what, 3 maps over the 3 different maps, the entire series.
Well, that's pretty phenomenal indeed. Looking back on their run as well, New Life, pretty easy there for Nora-Rengo. They were able to knock them over with, I think, only 2 rounds going the way of New Life. Then Aerowolf, again, fairly straightforward for them. Their longest map here has been a 6-4, so no overtimes, nothing like that. All pretty straightforward stuff for Nora-Rengo. And then 6-1 and 6-2 in the grand final against Fnatic. It didn't even seem like Nora-Rengo were challenged here. Is that fair to say?
That is fair to say. They definitely seem to be completely unchallenged here. Aerowolf probably gave them a much bigger run for their reputation, whereas Fnatic just seemed to have to be a bit lacking behind.
Yeah, so just to kind of quickly jump into a conclusion for the whole event, give us your final thoughts on that. I think it was a fantastic event. I think Nora-Rengo deserving winners, and I'm very, very excited to see how Nora-Rengo and Fnatic are going to be able to go through at Rio de Janeiro. Of course, both of these 2 teams, even despite the fact that Fnatic aren't the winners here at the grand final, are going to be going overseas and representing the APAC region, which is obviously great to see. 2 teams going through, 2 opportunities, and awesome for the APAC region.
Completely, and Nora-Rengo, I think, are looking better than they ever have before, and they're looking like, hopefully they will be able to, hopefully for us in APAC, we'll be able to pose a better threat to any of the global teams than they ever have before. And on top of that, even aside from the Nora-Rengo story, we've seen so many fantastic teams today and yesterday. You mentioned Xavier, we mentioned Aerowolf, we even mentioned teams like Atletico, who have had a very strong performance as well. I'm looking forward to seeing them progress on into future seasons, where I think they'll do very well as well.
And your final thoughts as well, Cthulhu?
Yeah, I'm just completely amazed, because this is probably, by far, I'd say, the closest we've seen the skill gap be to each one of the teams. Yes, we did see a fair few knockouts within the quarterfinals. Yes, some of the hearts were broken, but essentially the best team came out of it. We saw that kind of. We were before, even in the hotel with me and Dev, Monkey and Flea, we were like joking, yeah, Nora could have the flawless run. They did. They just did. And that is, to me, it feels mind-blowing, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a mind-blowing tournament, a fantastic tournament as well to be involved in. Thanks, guys, for joining us on the desk throughout the weekend. Thanks as well to Monkey and Flea. And thank you for watching. That's going to be the end of our broadcast here at the Season 8 Finals. We'll see you next time.
What's happening in the site? Lunametal's trying to sneak on through, but the plant's actually happening close. Can Lunametal spot this out? The smoke's completely hiding the position. Lunametal finds 1 kill with the FO12, but the plant has been denied. Lunametal going absolutely massive with the FO12, cleans it up.
Oh my lord.
And there you go, Error finally back on the board with a second.
Array will be going down for a plant. The smoke is down as well to deny as, oh my lord, the flex on Hysterics will be denying that. The pistol will be gone out from Mario. He does manage to clutch this up. 2 people down from Aerowolf. They will not be able to do anything, but I don't think he's able to read in on that.
He doesn't realize, but they're down. Oh my god, he doesn't realize where Hysterics is. And Hysterics is actually that headshot. This player is insane. Nora-Rengo takes it around, and you can see the look on Aerowolf's faces. Rachel, what happened?
Rachel just absolutely.
His time is not on their side.
Oh, and here comes Aces peeking out from the Blackbeard. Doesn't manage to take him out as Rizraz in amongst all this has found Producer Boom. Aces finally finds the head of Redstone. Aces picks him up as second. Aces gets a 3K for...
cheering as Rizraz pushes into the armory lockers and finds 1 kill, actually finds himself a second one. Magnet and Rizraz are bringing this one back. Rizraz, what was that shot just?
Now Papilia might actually deal a whole lot of damage as Rizraz doesn't expect. He will get taken down with a nice headshot. Another pre-fire on Sophia will be taking her out as well. Papilia dealing some...
Takes the championship, your APAC finalist, Nora-Rengo from Japan.
What a play out. What an amazing game from Nora. Indeed, the true champions of...